All right, so I'm going to start off by opening the catheter kit and placing it between the patient's legs. And then I can use this outer cover as a trash bag. And I'll place it at the patient's hip. All right, so then I will open the outer cover, making sure to only touch the 1-inch border. And then I will don my sterile gloves. All right, so then I'll go back over to the catheter kit and remove the sterile grate. I'll make sure to put the shiny side down in between the patient's legs. Then I'll remove the cleansing portion of the kit. And then I'll take the betadine, open it, and soak the cotton balls and dispose of that. Then I'll take the lubricant and insert it into the container that it was in and dispose of that. Then I'll take my sterile water and insert it into the balloon portion of the catheter. And now I can remove the cover. And then for a female catheter, I'll put 1 to 2 inches into the lubricant. And for male patients, I will put 5 to 7 inches into the lubricant. All right, so I'm going to verbalize how to clean a male and female patient. So for the male patient, I will grab the penis with my non-dominant hand and lift it up for slight traction and pull back the foreskin if necessary. I will use the forceps to grab one of the cotton balls and clean from the urinator meatus in a circular motion down to the glans penis. I'll repeat that step 3 times with a new cotton ball each time. And then for a female patient, with my non-dominant hand again, I will spread the labia apart and clean from, using the forceps, grab a cotton ball and clean from the outer labia first, the one that's furthest away from me, from top to bottom, dispose of that cotton ball, grab another one, clean the labia closest to me, and then with another cotton ball, clean down the middle from top to bottom. And then I'll make sure to not let the labia close, otherwise I'll have to restart. And the hand that touches either patient is now contaminated, so it cannot go into the sterile field. All right, so I'm going to show where the bifurcation is on the catheter, and it's right here. So it's important because it is the exposed portion of the catheter that inflates and deflates the balloon. It proves that the catheter is not in the prostatic urethra and that it is inserted correctly. All right, so now I'm going to demonstrate how to inflate and deflate the balloon. So for a female patient, after I already inserted the first 2 inches, I would advance the catheter 2 more inches. And then for male patients, I would advance the catheter all the way up to the bifurcation. So for inflating the balloon, I will inject the normal or the sterile water into the balloon port. And then while holding pressure down on the plunger, I would remove it. And then to deflate the balloon, I will aspirate it, the plunger, 3 times, and then get 0.5 milliliter of air in there. And then let the balloon deflate itself with gravity. All right, so I'm going to verbalize how to collect a urine specimen from a patient who just had a catheter put in. So we would use this port on the bag right here. We would also use a sterile container. So we would take the sterile container and put the top facing up after we take it off so we do not get contamination. And then we would also make sure to have a graduated cylinder under the container and under the port. I would unclip the port from the bag and unclamp it. And then while the urine is going into the container, I would make sure to not touch the port to the container itself because that would break sterility. After I have as much urine as I need for the sample, I would reclamp it and then reclip it back into the bag. And then I would put the top back on the sterile container and make sure to put a label on the container itself to send to the lab. All right, so I'm going to verbalize how to obtain a urine specimen from a patient who had a catheter inserted yesterday. So we would use this port on the catheter, and then according to hospital policy, I would clamp the tube over here to obtain urine in there. And then with the cleanser that the hospital provides, I would clean the top of the port over here. And I'll make sure to give it time to dry and make sure that it doesn't touch the patient or the sheets. After it dries, I'll take a Luer lock syringe and put it onto the port and withdraw the urine specimen. Then after I have the specimen in the syringe, I would disconnect it and unclamp the tube so that urine can go back into the bag. Then I would put the specimen into the sterile container, making sure not to touch the syringe to any of the container and contaminate it. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate how to put a stat lock on a catheter. So I would start by getting the stat lock out, and I would make sure to clean the skin so that the adhesive can stick to the skin well and not move around. So then I'll put the bifurcation in the stat lock. And then since the skin's already clean, I would take the adhesive off of the back of it and then put it on the mid inner thigh and make sure that there is not tension on the catheter itself.